Alright, hey guys. So Hi-Fri here. I just wanted to say real quick, I apologize that I haven't gotten the con video out. I know I told you guys a couple days ago that I was going to finish it. I ran into an issue. I wasn't able to finish editing in time. Turns out it's got a lot more information in it than I'm able to get out like quickly. So in the meantime, I know this isn't quite going to make up for it, but I'm just going to do an unboxing video. I have a lot of IEMs here that I need to unbox. So if you are a fan of unboxing videos, I'll go through each one. If not, I'm sorry. You guys can wait till the next video. I'm going to try to have it out tomorrow. If not, maybe, I don't know, like a day or two. It won't be much longer, I promise, and it's chock full of information. So I got pictures with the microscope. I have a couple graphs. Like I said, it's a complete teardown. All the drivers, close-ups of the drivers. We go over the crossover network, all kinds of stuff. So I'll give you a little history with the company and all that. So big video, lots of information. So, but anyway, so I just wanted to apologize for that, and then I just wanted to do this unboxing real quick. So I'll start out from smallest to greatest, and yeah, we'll take care of it that way. So the first one I have is the CCA FLA. Alright guys, so this is the CCA FLA. It's currently running for about $14, give or take. It's got a pretty nice looking design, detachable ear hooks. On their listing it says U-shaped sound signature. I'm not going to post a graph here, but I'll post a graph later on when I do a comparison video and a like a brief impressions video. So these are the IEMs, metal face plates, nice build quality. Not much to say about the packaging, of course, because it's KZ, it's their packaging. Nice, you know, small. Yeah, you guys already know. If you know me, you know I like their packaging just because it doesn't take up too much space, and it is it's eco-friendly. You know, you're not gonna have a bunch of crap laying around afterwards. So these are the insides. You got a clear shell. You can see the driver through the shell. It's like a flat driver. It's not a like a dual cavity dynamic. So it's just one of those really small ones. It's not a very expensive driver. It's a pretty cheap driver, but it sounds decent. It's tuned all right. I won't get into listening too much, but yeah. So nice faceplate. I believe it's metal. Yeah, oh yeah, they're definitely metal. But anyway, yeah. So there's your connector there. So nice clean design. They did a very good job with it. The plastic shell is very clear, much clearer than I think some of their shells in the past. So I don't know if they treated it with something, if it's a different type of plastic, but it just seems much clearer. It could just be me though. And then there's your nozzle there and your ear tips. And as far as accessories go in the box, I'll just throw these in real quick. See what we get as far as cable and tips. It's always a toss-up with KZ or CCA. They seem to include different tips for different IEMs, but for the most part, I've found that they are actually really good with their selection, because I'll try multiple tips when I get their IEMs, and usually the ones that they supply are the best ones, sound-wise, for the IEMs that they supply. So small, medium, and large tips. These are like a wide bore, kind of like a donut style, shallow. You can see there's your small tips there. Good quality tips. They always have nice quality tips. Brown cable. We'll get into the brown cable. Alright, so there's that, just your standard KZ cable. And yeah, so pretty much that's what you get for 14 bucks. 3 sets of tips, nice looking earphones. The earphones themselves actually look really good. Definitely like that. So if you're buying them for style, I mean, you get a couple style points for that. And let's move on to the next one. Alright, so this is the KBR Storm. This was kindly sent to me by Keep Hi-Fi, so I just want to shout out Keep Hi-Fi. Thank you guys very much for sending this out. And yeah, so let's rock and roll. As far as this one goes, I'm looking at the price right now. This is currently $15.99 from Keep Hi-Fi. Looks like it comes in a couple different colors. You got like a black, and then you got the purple. As far as the specifications go, they are 32 ohms, 108 decibels at 1 kilohertz sensitivity. Frequency range is 20 to 20, and the diaphragm material is PEEK plus PU. I'm not sure what the PEEK is. Polyethylene something I don't know. But yeah, the PU I'm pretty sure is polyurethane. It's a 10 millimeter dynamic. Says the cavity material is PPC, so polycarbonate, I want to say. And 78. Sorry, that's my turtle. He's like trying to bury himself in his little place. But anyway, so the cable length is 120 centimeters. So let's get into it. Yeah, so it looks like there's 3 colors. So you got the I don't know, what would you call that? Like a haze or smoked color. It's like a super vibrant purple, and then like the smoked with the purple faceplate. I'm not sure, but these look really cool. I'm actually a fan of this color. This like arrangement here. They're like super bright and neon, but they're really cool looking. Alright, and let's, here, let me wipe them off real quick. I'll get these into the shot so you guys can see them. Alright, so these are the KBR Storm. It's kind of cool looking faceplates there that you can see they got like a indent or like some sort of hill and then like a little valley there, a little ridge, whatever you call it. The QDC connectors on either one. Metal nozzles. So nozzles look pretty cool. So blue shell with purple faceplate. As far as the drivers go on this one, let's see if I can show you. They're a little deeper. You can see they're deeper. Raise my light a little bit, get them in real close. So yeah, you can see the driver. Just barely make out the driver in there. It's still a little bit of a shallow driver, and it looks very similar to the biofiber IM that they had a while back. I forget the name of it, but there was a biofiber IM that they had come out with. I believe it was like a bullet style. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was like a bullet style. I don't even remember the name of it. I didn't even I barely listened to it. I just bought it and then I took it apart because I wanted to see what kind of driver they were using. But yeah, this is supposedly the same lineage of driver, but just a different driver material or different diaphragm material. And then you have your vent there on the side. Like I said, the gold grills. So, yeah, pretty cool looking IMs. And then as far as the packaging goes, throw these back in here. Let's see what we get as far as cable and tips. So, a couple bucks more than the FLA, and it looks like you get 2 different types of tips. So what do we get? Looks like more of the donuts, and then we also get some other ones. Seems like, no, are they all donuts? Yeah. So yeah, so there you go. So you get 6 of those, of the little donut ones, and then we get some of these black ones. Let me open these up and see what these got inside. Dude, what are you doing? I don't think he likes the light. He's like trying to go to bed. yeah, so it looks like you got wide bores and then you have narrow bores, and the narrow bores are a little bit deeper. So these are like your KB07 kind of tips. Similar, not the same, but they look similar. And then as far as the cable goes, kind of nifty cable, a little better quality than your average. So L-shaped plug, gold plating. You have this nice Velcro strap here to hold the cable. I always like it when they include these. These things are great. Soft ear hooks. Ear hooks are nice and supple. Nice soft like vinyl material. There's your QDC connectors there. And as far as the divider goes, for the chin divider, cheap. It's made cheaply, but it's good. It's well made. It's not like poor quality. It looks like it's plastic on plastic. I don't think there's any metal to it. It feels like it's plastic, but yeah, not bad. Nice, decent cable. Let's see how big the V split is, because a lot of times these companies make them really, really long. No, not too bad. No, that's good. So yeah, nice quality cable from K-Bear or KB Ear. So I think they did a good job with this one. As far as sound impressions go, I won't get into it, but I will say that I did hear them for a little while, and they do sound pretty decent. I have, and oh man, I wish they would come here soon. Actually, I should look on Amazon and see if they're for sale on Amazon. But I have the new Truth Ear Ola coming. That IM is $18, or I think it's like $19. It's $18.99. That's a $11 11 millimeter LCP, and looks very interesting. So compared to the likes of these, for 13, 14 bucks, and I want to say like 16 bucks. I'm very curious how like a $18, $19 IM stacks up between the two of these, because I can tell you there's definitely a difference between quality in the two of these, and I'm sure there'd probably be an even bigger jump to something a little more expensive. Alright, so DQS. Let's get into this one. Alright, so you guys know KZ, they've been pumping out IMs like nobody's business. It's actually been too much for me. I think they need to like chill out a little bit, focus on something with a little bit different tuning. So if you guys see this, no offense, I mean you all the respect in the world, but if you guys could maybe make like one or two more IMs with like a neutral tuning, like just stay away from the V completely, make something totally different. I've been doing consulting with Canera on their new IMs, and like the last 3 IMs that they've come out with have all been big hits. Like everybody's loving them, so I'm very happy for Canera that they're doing well. If you guys see this, hi, I'm sorry I have not given you the prototype yet. I've had major problems with it, so yeah, that's all I'll say. But anyway, as far as KZ goes, lots of new IMs, and let's see how good they are. So what does it say here? Deeply tap the potential of dynamic unit and release its different powerful performance. Alright. So what I will say about these real quick, so it's touting a new generation dynamic driver. They call it their new legendary dynamic, but diaphragm is only about 5 microns thick. That's what they say. Normal diaphragms, at least recently from the last couple of years, have been 6 microns. So not sure how much different this is than the 6 micron that we normally see. And I remember, I think they said the CRA was like 3 microns or something ridiculous, like crazy thin. But yeah, so this is apparently a new diaphragm, 0.15 millimeters, so 0.15 millimeters magnetic gap They're touting that it gives you better audio quality. It's actually really nice because they show a breakdown of the drivers, or of the IMs themselves, like all their individual parts and components on their website. So if you guys want, you can go on their website. It's kz-audio.com, and their IMs will show you a exploded view of the IMs themselves, so you can see. Let's see. So it says they have a high precision four-layer voice coil, which is something that I don't know if I've seen too often. I have looked at a few voice coils, and I've only ever seen 2 and 3 layer. Not to say that I have not seen a 4-layer, but I only recently started using my microscope to look at the voice coils, so I couldn't really tell you how many other IEMs share this technology, but that's what they're touting on these. And as far as the tuning goes, they're kind of sticking with that whole like U-shaped tuning. It's got kind of like a semi-open back design. Anybody that knows me knows that I don't believe in open back IEMs. I don't think it's a real thing. There is a way to vent them where they are technically open back, but it's just not something that I believe in personally. I'll explain it later. It's a whole long thing, but to me, open back IEMs are just a gimmick, and they don't have any bearing on the sound whatsoever. So anyway, the model, like I said, it's the DQS. The impedance is 14 ohms. The sensitivity is 110 dB. Frequency range 20 to 40. Yeah. Plug type 3.5 millimeter. Pin type 0.75. Cable length is 120 centimeters. So same length cable as most budget IEMs. Again, I will say these look nice. I don't think they look as nice as the FLA. I was really getting my hopes up for the FLA when I first saw it, just because it's such a nice looking IEM, especially for the money. But yeah, not fond of the thickness of the diaphragm of the driver that they put in there. I wish they would have put maybe a little bigger one in there and raised the price a little bit, but we won't talk about that right now. So here are the KZ DQS. So nice looking face plates. Nice design on the back. So metal face plates. Again, you have your QDC. These are more like your what is it, the Critical IEMs that they released with them, and like the DQ6 and all those. There's a whole bunch of them that have this kind of shell design. A lot of their TWS IEMs have this whole kind of shell design. But anyway, yeah, this is one of their other common. They have like 3 or 4 different shell profiles that they use on their IEMs, depending on what kind of IEM it is. And this one is pretty similar to their TWS style. You see it's got this little seam around the edge where they can actually fit the diaphragm in and then fit the driver in, and then they can seat this whole assembly into the IEM. It makes assembly like super easy, super efficient, so they can like build these like really quickly. So this is the driver on the back. Super like flat, crazy looking driver. This driver looks nuts. So this should be an exciting one to take apart. It is kind of similar to the ZUN or the XUN driver, because it has the terminals on the side, but it looks like they might stick out a little bit more. I'm not sure, but yeah. So crazy looking driver so far. I'm not sure if it has anything in common with their other recent drivers. I'll let you guys know when I take them apart. They say it's completely new. I can tell that it shares a little bit of lineage with some of their other drivers. Like I said, the XUN drivers, just because the terminals are on the side. I don't know how well you guys can see that. I'm trying to get it in shot there. So you see those terminals, they come out of the side. So yeah, that's pretty similar to the other ones. But yeah, you can see that big fat dampener right on the back there, just right in the middle, and the driver itself is completely flat. If we look at the top, we can just barely make out the diaphragm. So the case looks very similar to a lot of their other dynamics. The hole in the middle of the magnet is pretty similar. So the chassis and everything is very, very similar to the XUN drivers and all that. But yeah, so the diaphragm material is probably different, like they say, and then the voice coil. I have a shit ton of KZ drivers, so I will actually take other ones apart and I will validate the claims and make sure that everything is legit. But yeah, so there are the IMs there. You can see the nozzle. But yeah, pretty nice. Hold them up close for you guys. So not bad looking. And come on. And then we'll look at the box here real quick. And we'll check out the cable. So we had the brown cable with the last one. Let's start with the cable first on this one. And we'll see. So yeah, so same cable, brown cable. Let's see what the price is on these. Just want to see what the asking price is. So it looks like about the same price. So about 13, 14 bucks. So it's the exact same price as the FLA. So same price, different diaphragm. That's really interesting. Okay, well, that's something that's interesting. We'll get into that. But yeah, so this is the DQS. So, and that's the cable there. But yeah, I will talk more about that later. And then we have our tips. I always hate these stupid bags. They drive me nuts. Come on. It's stuck to me. So, star lines, we get the traditional black star line tips. So that's pretty cool. If you wanted to, you could turn these into the reversed star lines. So, anybody that isn't familiar, or you've never heard reverse star lines before, you should definitely look into how to do it. There are a couple tutorials out there. If you have trouble finding them, let me know, and I will make another tutorial on how to make reverse starline tips. But I promise you, they are some of the best tips you'll ever hear in your life. They make almost any IM sound good, and yeah, I love the quality. They have a couple downsides. They slip off, like they'll slip off the IMs, especially if these like get grease on them or like fingerprints or whatnot. And they do go a little bit deep in the ears, but man, they're like I said, they make any IM pretty much sound good. They open up the sound stage. They are awesome. They're very, very awesome. They make IM sound more cohesive, just all around good. But you got to make them yourself. People have been telling KZ for the longest time, you know, if they could do it, make their own reverse star lines, but they haven't. So, but anyway, yep. So there is the DQS. Not bad at all. And let's get into the next one. Alright guys, so these are the big dogs, the Mac Daddies, the big Mamma Jammas. These are the flagship KZIM that are out this week. This is the ZAR. It is, actually, let me look it up real quick. Alright, so these are about $76 to $78 on KZ's website. It's KZTWS.com. That's their like sales site that they use. They are their flagship, so they feature a one dynamic driver 7BA hybrid configuration. This is their first major release, I believe, since the CCA, what is it, CA16 Pro. I could be wrong. If anybody knows if there was another one, but yeah, this is their DDBA hybrid, and yeah, so it comes in the slightly nicer box, and same thing, 20 to 40 kilohertz, 109 dB sensitivity, 1 kilohertz, 16.5 ohms. But yeah, so anyway, these feature their new what is it they call it? Sorry. They call it their self-developed low-frequency magnetic circuit dynamic driver. So basically, this is supposedly yet another custom dynamic driver, and it also has their like high-performance BA. So let's see. Let me find it real quick. There we go. Alright, so they have their, what do they call it? What is it? It's their S series, their black and gold BAs. So, reading through their data, or their sales material here, they have, so one of the BAs, the one closest to the bottom of the IMs is the 30019S, and it says, as a replacement version of the 30095, the 30019S balanced armature highlights the ultra high frequency performance, improves overall analytical ability, and clarifies the details. So it's supposed to be a better performing BA compared to the 30095. And then, so it has one of those, and then it has 6 of the 50024S, and these are the mid-high frequency drivers. And it says the mid-high frequency range is composed of 3 50024S, which are dual BA, so 246. And it says it greatly improves the expressiveness of the vocals, which are clear, complete, and magnetic. And then as far as the driver goes, so it is their new magnetic circuit dynamic driver. It says excellent magnetic circuit system structure. The magnetic gap is again 0.15 millimeters. I don't know if that's common or not. I can actually probably measure that because I have. And you guys are going to know this because I'm a total absolute nerd. Sorry, give me 1 second. You guys are going to get a kick out of this. I have a shit ton of KZ magnets laying around. Oh, not that one. Okay, so that's a KZ magnet. That's a KZ magnet. That's a KZ magnet. How many more you want me to grab? Here. That's a KZ magnet. I'll keep going. I'll do this all day. That's another KZ magnet. Any more? Any more? God damn, these are hard to pull off. That's a KZ magnet. Whoops. That one's kind of busted. That's a KZ magnet. So anyway, they're touting their new magnetic gap, and you can actually kind of see the difference between this one and that one. So there is a difference, at least between these. So anyway, I can measure that stuff, most of it. This is their new 12 millimeter driver. But yeah, so anyway, so we can mess around with this if you guys want me to check the magnetic gap and take a look at all that. And then, So yeah, so that's their new driver. It says quality control is with 1.5 decibels, which is it's like industry standard for the most part. I mean, you don't want any drive if they're more than a dB and a half out, then they get like what do you call it, rejected. Like there's no dynamic driver that you'll buy from any reputable seller that'll be more than a dB and a half, unless they're just not checking them. But if they like guarantee them or they match them or whatever, they'll be either identical or they'll be within a dB. But yeah, big company like KZ though, they make a shit ton of these, so it's good to know. And it is true that their IMs do have very good quality control. I've owned so many of them, and every single one has never had an issue. I never get like differences in like channel balance and stuff. For example, I have the what is it, the C3 and the Tin Hi-Fi C2, and both of them have channel balance issues. They're not bad, but one of them, like the C2, is like balanced towards the left or whatever, so it's like louder on the left side, and the C3, or the C2 I mean, or C3, whatever. Anyway, one of them's on one side and one of them's on the other. So every time I switch pairs, I have to change my panning a little bit to accompany whichever one it is. But anyway, yeah, so it says, I don't know, it talks about diaphragm materials and stuff. I'm not going to go into their whole thing because they have a tendency to use like verbose language. But yeah, so anyway, so 1DD, 7BA, similar tuning, so they're on this whole like U-shaped tuning kick, which most companies are on right now. And it's, I don't know, it's kind of irritating because I like it when companies do different tunings for different IMs. You have every single IM be the same tuning. It's like, what the fuck? Why am I even buying, an IM from you? Like, at least people, so welcome newbies. Hi, my name is Jeff. I'm a crazy nerd. But like, for instance, if you're a newbie, you're going to buy an IM if it sounds good. You're not going to really, you'll notice the differences, but it's not going to affect your enjoyment level very much. And you may have several IMs that sound similar. You can hear the different characteristics, how much resolution and stuff is there, but you're not going to really give much thought to it, But for people who have been in the hobby for a long time and have owned countless IMs, like, starting to get into like the hundreds, like I am, you start to get to this point where you crave something different. And all these like IMs that have similar tuning or the same tuning, it just gets repetitive and it gets boring and you lose interest and you don't want anything to do with it. The whole reason why I started reviewing KZ IMs and I reached out to them, or they reached out to me, was because I noticed the technology inside and I was like, oh, this is really cool. They're using like magnetostat drivers, they're using, a mixture of that and BA and this and that, and they're doing all these crazy hybrids, and they're using 12mm drivers and 10mm drivers and 7mm drivers, and they're doing like different things, and because the sound quality is pretty much generally recognized as being good, like decent, of good quality. I wanted to see where the budget like realm is, or the budget segment. I wanted to see what is the best to offer. But after a while, you start getting these IMs, and it's V-shaped. All right, big bass, big treble, no, yada yada, and then you start comparing models, to models of past, and then when they have releases that come out so often. It's just like every week, like every 2 weeks, it's just like bam, 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 bam. And it's too much. It's too much. And I hate to say it, but that is the Chinese way. That is the Chinese culture. It is just like hit them hard, freaking pump it out, saturate the market, like get it done, freaking. Anyway, but yeah, so. Anyway, it could just be a little too much, and I like to see different plays or different variations. There should be a reason for me to own 2 or 3 or 4 different pairs. You know what I'm saying? Like, there should be a reason for me to own all of these. Like, this one's got a little more bass, this one's got a little more treble, this one's great for mids, this one has awesome soundstage, you know, this one has whatever, great separation, this one's like holographic imaging, you know, 360 no scope, whatever, you know, around my head, whizzing details, like that kind of stuff. This one has super tight sub bass, you know, that kind of, like, there should be different tunings. Every IM should shine in its different way. But once you start hearing them and they sound the same, they get played out. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not really suggesting that these are that way. I haven't really given them enough time to have a adequate opinion of them. But I noticed with the graphs that they're putting out and the tunings that everybody's doing that it's all getting very samey. Like, everyone's kind of clued on to like that tuning, you know, where they post a graph and everybody goes, wow, that looks good, you know. But it's like, okay, yeah, it looks good, but it's the same as freaking 90 other IMs. But anyway, so that being said, like, take, and I'll leave it here, I'll finish it here, but Canera, for instance, they have 3 different IMs that are like current gen releases. You know, you have the Gumiho, you have the Gimlet, and you have the, shoot, what's the other one that's out now? The Gumiho, the Gimlet, oh, and the Pandemon. And all 3 of them are different tunings. So the Pandemon is completely different from the Gumiho, which is completely different from the Gimlet. They all offer a different experience and the same, if not similar, levels of enjoyment or satisfaction. They each have their different strengths and their different weaknesses, but they justify their existence. They are a properly set up product segment, you know, one to cater to each kind of listener, and then all 3 for the type of person that likes everything equally, you know, or likes to hear new variations or new flavors of different things. So that's all I'm trying to get at. Is some IMs recently, the releases have just been really samey, and other companies have been doing it very well, and they've been pumping out stuff that sounds different and is unique and has a reason to buy it, and there's something to it, you know, that drives you to buy it because it offers something of value and a unique listening experience. And I think a lot of people value uniqueness over sameness or similarities. And I'll leave it at this. There's a gentleman that I just sent 2 IMs to, and my own IMs that I made, and they are both very different sounding from each other, and they are both very different from the tunings that I've done of past. So, but in my opinion, they both sound good in their own right, but just in different ways. You know, so it's possible. It doesn't have to be like this perfect Harman or whatever. They can be fantastic sounding IMs with good tuning, but it just exemplifies different things in the music, you know, and either appeals to different genres of music, or you just hear the music in a different light, and that's what I appreciate. So anyway, with that being said, that huge rant over, yeah, so this is the ZAR, okay, 1DD, 7BA, left and right ear. I'm not a big fan of this design here. I know a lot of people said the same thing. I don't think it looks ugly. I don't really think it looks tacky. I'm just not really a fan of it. If I were to see these like little slashes here, I would like these other portions to be like a little window that you can see through, or something of that sort. I think if this was a different color and not just black like everything else, and you could like actually see through it, like you can, but just it's like it's really, really dark. It's like it's really hard to see through. Like you can just barely see any, like I can see a wire there. But yeah, anyway, so if the colors were a little bit more contrasty, I think it would make for a little more visually appealing backplate. But yeah, so anyway, with that being said, here's inside the IMs. They are definitely cram-packed full of stuff. So here is your here's your 30019, okay? And then up top here, so we have, this is another shell that they use very commonly, and I actually have a few of these too. This is in like your ZAS, your AS16 Pro, or your CA16 Pro, a bunch of other IMs, but they all use the same kind of shell. And let me see if I can get on here a little bit better. Trying to get this light in good. I just want to show you guys the insides of these. So anyway, come on, you turd. So you can see the BAs in there, and you see these little like ports here. So with this design, previously there have been issues with these ports being blocked or not very much sound escaping. But I think that they have at least solved it. If they have not solved it, then I think these are at least better than the previous ones, because I can see that there isn't any glue like blocking them, and all appears to be good. So we will definitely get onto these and we'll check them out, and I'll do some testing to make sure all the drivers are firing and whatnot. But yeah, so there's our mesh screen there. Here's our newly developed dynamic driver. You can just barely make out there. Can barely see it. But anyway, so yeah, so that is the what is it? The ZAR. But yeah, decent looking IMs. Like I said, 1DD, 7BA. We'll take a look at these, and then also I was going to mention, I don't know if you guys want me to, but if you guys want to, I can compare these BA and kind of give a rough performance analysis of these versus the old KZ BA, because I have both of them, and I've been meaning to do my own little comparison to see if they really changed or if it's just the housing that is changed. They're the same BA as always, so they're the same E-Audio brand. E-Audio, in my opinion, makes very excellent BA for the price. The value is there. They make very good products. A little better than Belzing, in my opinion, and I think that's why a lot of these companies have switched to them. I think they might also be cheaper, because I noticed Belzing's, some of their BAs are expensive. It all depends on the model of BA, honestly. But like, for instance, treble BAs, I'm not a fan of Belzing treble BAs, but E-Audios I can handle like just enough, and especially if they're implemented correctly. Like in the HM20, the treble on the HM20 is dope. Like it's spectacular. It's really good, and you would never know that it was from a cheap, E-Audio BA. But yeah. So anyway, I'll give sound impressions about these later. I'm not going to go into detail about them now. I will say, again, they do sound good, but that's what I'll leave it at. And then also, just as a quick side note, this dynamic driver looks awfully close to the one that's in the DQS. So hard to see, I'm sorry guys. Anyway, we can just barely make out the driver in there. Come on. Stupid phone. But yeah, you can just barely make out the driver in there. Oh, no. Okay. No, it is different. So I can see the terminals on the back there. But yeah, if you guys want, I'll take this one apart and we can examine the driver in here too. I love taking these KZs apart because they're pretty interesting. So, and we'll see their whole crossover unit or whatever. So yeah, see, there you go. Now you can see in there a little better. Like, I don't know why they used the dark haze plastic. Like, this should be like uber clear. That would have looked so much nicer than the dark, like super dark hazy shell. Maybe they did with the other models, because this is the black one. I'm sure they have another color. They usually have two different colors. But yeah. So anyway, real quick, we will pop these back in, and then let's just take a look at the cable and whatnot. So this is what $80 gets you. So just to recap real quick, we got about $13, $13, $16, and then we have $80. So quite a jump from those two. So in all reality, that should also be quite a jump in sound quality, and we'll get into that too, and we'll talk about that. But yeah, so here's the cable. Let's see, there we go. All right, let's just open it up. So this is their higher end cable. These cables aren't really bad. They're actually pretty nice. This is the same cable that comes with the P1 Pro and the P1 Hi-Fi and the CA13 and all that stuff. So these are actually pretty decent cables. They're not the highest quality. This whole strain relief here is absolutely useless. But like, it's got a nice metal connector there. It's got a nice, at least metal coated divider here. The braiding is nice. It's a soft cable. Yeah, not much to complain about. The ear hooks are a little not hard. It's just the braiding here. Some people, I could see that, you know, maybe they might get a little irritation from them. They don't bother me at all. They're actually pretty comfy. But yeah, so nice quality cable. Not a bad cable at all. Nothing to write home about, but you know, it is a very functional cable for the price. I didn't give much mind to cables before, but especially recently I've really been looking at cable quality and like conductor quality, and I can see when a cable's garbage. There's a lot of like average quality cables out there. Nothing really too like garbagey. I think that more or less comes with price. You know, if you're going to spend $2,000 on an IM, you're going to want like a really nice cable. But some people, they conflate a thick cable with an expensive cable. So they think like, oh, well, this cable's really thin, so it's not expensive. No, it's just some people like their cables light, some people like their cables heavy. If you're a stage performer, you want a really thin cable. You don't want a thick cable. Take for example, and I'll make this be my last point, and then I'll move on again. So take the Joyful 1 and 2, for example. This is the IM that I've been touting for a while now. Some of my friends are just starting to get it, and this is a really good IM. I mean, I've been using these for days now, and you know, like I said, I got these for $27. They are back on sale. They're 75% off instead of 80, and they no longer have the 1 and 2. So the 1 and 2 is gone. It's only the 1 and 1 and the 1DD. But yeah, anyway, they come with this cable here, and somebody was like, the cable's trash. Like, this cable sucks. It's awful. And like, I get it. I understand. It's not to your liking. But in my opinion, I really like these cables. These are excellent cables. If you're a performer, they are amazing because they're super light. Like, they're incredibly light. They are a little bit on the like the memory heavy side. Like, they're a little stiff. This one's actually a little softer. But yeah, the ear hooks are stellar. Like, look how tight those ear hooks are. Like, those are awesome. And these connectors, like, they're not cheap connectors. Like, they're high quality connectors. Like, you can tell a lot about a cable by its connectors. And like that chin or that divider there, like, that is heavy duty, man. That is solid metal. And then same thing with the chin cinch. Like, it's a nice chin cinch, you know. Same thing with the plug. It's a nice plug. Still, same thing with the strain relief. It's not really functional, you know. But to me, that's not a bad cable. It's incredibly thin, but I would say this is a great, excellent cable. You know, some people would say, oh no, that's trash. You gotta have a cable like this, you know, like the AFL. And like, yeah, this is a nice cable too, but it's super thick, you know, it's uber thick. It's not unmanageable or anything like that, but it's a big, heavy cable. It's a chunky cable. Not all cables have to be thick, you know? So, anyway, it's just, I think it's a matter more of preference than anything else. So, alright guys, so this video is already long enough. So we got our DQS, we got our Storm, we got our CCA FLA, and then we have our ZAR. Okay, so we're going to put these to the side, and then I'm going to have the grand finale. This is the one that I was supposed to do the video on, but I'm just going to do an unboxing for now. and then in like a day or two, I'll get you all the goods. And then, like I said, we'll take these apart. We'll look at the DDs. We'll examine all the drivers. I'll put them under the microscope so you guys can see how they are on the inside. And then we got this guy here. We'll take apart the drivers. I can compare them to the previous BA and all that. And then I'll give you guys something special real quick, because I know you're probably asking for it. You don't know you're asking for it, but you are. Okay? So let me just zoom in really quickly. So we have our C2 and C3, okay? And then we have a dynamic driver sitting in front of us, and we have a diaphragm here. And let me just real quick grab my tweezers, okay? Whoops. Alright, so let me grab my tweezers. So here's our pretty little LCP driver. Now guess which one of these IMs that driver came out of? Both. So yeah, they both use the same driver. So, and what's the price difference? 24, roughly 24 or 30 bucks, and then 50 bucks. Now I will say the C3 sounds tuning wise better than the C2, or timbre wise too, but resolution wise doesn't hold a candle to the C2. So it's really weird how the difference in shells changed the quality of sound, and we can get into that a little bit. But yeah, that's crazy to think that both of those IMs that are like crazy different in sound are powered by the same dynamic driver, same 10 millimeter LCP driver. So, and you can see the little voice coil there. Beautiful little driver. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting. I thought you guys would get a kick out of that. And that was just my little teaser. We'll talk about that a little bit more when we get into the next video. Nice segue there, which is going to be on the Con. So anyway, QKZxHBB Con. This is the high performance dual dynamic driver in-ear headphone by the apparently Jamaican company QKZ. Just kidding. I know HBB probably had something to do with this, but you got like your green, your yellow, and your red, which is like Jamaican colors. So, and then you got some wicked purple on the side there. But yeah, tuning by HBB. Anyway, some Chinese writing there. Yeah, so this is a 2 dynamic driver IM acknowledgement. Look at that. Thank you so much for HBB's kindly assistance in the design and tuning. Interesting. Anyway, PU LCP driver, 117 dB sensitivity. Total harmonic distortion is less than 1% at 1 kilohertz. Impedance 10 ohms plus minus 15%. Frequency response. I love how they do this. Like, who can hear up to 39,500? Like, why does it even matter? Like, that's just the most useless thing. And like KZ does it, everybody does it. Anyway, 4th generation DLP printing technology. There's a company there, Shenzhen Longzi Technology Limited. And you can follow them on Instagram, QKZ Top Sound. There's their QQ, if you want to message them on QQ. They're in the Hulong Fengjing. I can't read that. Thought it said something else. But anyway, yeah, so sorry guys, I'm getting distracted. I'm like all ADHD today. So there's the QKZ design with their triangle pattern that they normally have, but they got like all these little, like, I don't know what you call them, they're kind of triangles, like isosceles triangles. I don't know, they're all like kind of flat and whatnot. But yeah, they got different angles and whatnot. It's kind of cool. Looks pretty dope. I will say this, that the outside of the design of the box is a little bit cluttered. The front doesn't look too bad, but once you start getting to like all this stuff on the side, and then especially the back, holy crap, dude, that's like super cluttered. There's just not much coherence in the theming of the packaging. It's just like bam, 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 bam. Just put a bunch of stuff on there. So anyway, but yeah, the inside looks really nice. I will say that. So got this nice little medallion here that it comes with. This is a beautiful, beautiful medallion. So it's got oh shoot, goodness, come on. So it's got the QKZ audio, the brand logo on one side, and then it has the HBB audio on the other side. It's got his nice little logo stamped in there. Looks cool. It's heavy. It's definitely a pretty hefty coin. So it's a couple grams or something. It's like maybe 5 grams. I don't know. It's pretty heavy. But anyway, so this is what you get with the packaging. You get the IMs themselves, and you get the QKZ logo on one half, and you get HBB's logo on the other half. Interesting little pattern in the background. This is metal, this outer edge here. So it's like some sort of copper amalgamation. I don't know, it's a bunch of metals, but it's pretty heavy metal. Nice chrome finish. They got a little thing in here that says the future of audio. And then you have this nice little case here. It's just a little clip case. It's not a bad case. It's a little on the cheap side, but I mean it works really well. I mean it protects the IMs. It's decent quality plastic. Like I'm really pushing on it. I mean I'm giving it the beans, and this thing is really holding. So good if you want to keep your IMs safe. Here's the cable inside. So I noticed a lot of the Chinese vendors are going with this knurling. It's like this diagonal knurling on their cables now, but it looks cool. It looks good. It's high-end, fashionable. A little bit more of a performing strain relief. Still not much. I mean, when you have a strain relief that is literally less than 1/4 of an inch thick, it's not going to protect the cable very much. For anybody that's not sure why this is here or what this does, this basically, when you tug on the cable, the strain relief is supposed to help the cable from bending at a sharp angle, because over time what will happen is this jacket or this coating here will get rips in it, and then the conductors will start touching. So that's all that's for, is just to protect it. Normally on a decent quality headphone cable, you'll get a strain relief that's like that long, something like that, and it'll actually be molded around the conductors themselves, just to help out a little bit to keep the cable from fraying. But anyway, nice connector end. And then we have the, I'm sorry, I kind of wrapped it up. I was playing around with it earlier. But yeah, we have the same motif on the divider there, the chin divider. This is the same thing. It's the, what is it? The QDC connector. So, not bad. The ear hooks are a little on the big side. They're not the smallest. I would much rather see them be like something like that, but they're a little bit bigger. They're not the softest. They're not the hardest. I mean, I'm sure they'd be comfortable. They're not bad by any means, but they're a little on the stiff side, and they're a little bit big. But other than that, not bad. Braiding's decent. Keep in mind this IM is $40. So I just wanted to say that it is $40 on Amazon. So you can currently get it on Amazon for $40, and then also on any of your typical hi-fi sites, except for I think Shenzhen Audio. They do like their own thing, but you can get it on Linsole. Linsole is like the primary distributor, but yeah, there's a bunch of other places you can get it online. So, and yeah, so anyway, nice case. We'll get into, oh yeah, so the tips. I wanted to talk about the tips real quick. So for anybody that's not familiar with the Truth Ear Zero, the Truth Ear Zero has an incredibly wide nozzle, and so the tips are like custom manufactured for that nozzle. This IM, the Con, is no different. It is got a very wide nozzle, so the tips are basically the same thing as like moondrop tips. So if you have like a Blessing 2 or something and you need replacement tips, these would work perfectly. Or like I said, if you got a Truth Ear Zero or another IM that has a similar width of nozzle, these are good for those nozzles. They're super, super wide. And then real quick, we'll just take a look at one of the IMs. So, oh, come on. There we go. So this is the IM itself. You can just barely make out the drivers inside. It is like kind of like a frosted plastic. We have the dampener here on the front, or the grill with the dampener behind it. There is the 7.8 millimeter down in here, and then the 10 millimeters up in here. They're both LCP drivers. They're milky white LCP, and yeah, pretty nice, decent. It's the 3D printed build with the metal face plates, little vents there. Not a big fan of this face plate here. It looks kind of tacky, just the shape of it. And the overall shape of the IM is a little bit strange, but I mean, it's not bad. It feels solidly built, and it sounds good. So I guess that's really all that matters. And yeah, so anyway, so that's what you get for 40 bucks. Not a bad deal. There are some caveats, and I will not get into it in this video because I don't want to spoil it. I'll save it for the next video. But anyway, this is the QKZx Hawaii Bad Boy Con, and it looks decent. It's a nice size box. Nice quality packaging. Packaging could probably be a little bit smaller, but I do like the coin. The inclusion of the coin was pretty cool, and yeah, pretty good value. So looks good. Anyway, let's just thank all of our contenders today. Thanks for making it out, guys. So these are all our IMs. So we got the Storm to take apart, the DQS, the FLA, the, what is it, ZAR, and then we got the QKZxHBB Con. I did finally take apart the 1 and 2, just enough so I could kind of see what was going on inside it. So if you guys want to see a teardown of these, I'll show you kind of what's going on. It's nothing really exciting. I'll probably throw it in another video, because they're not much different than the 1-in-1 and like the 1DD. If you're not familiar with the previous video, these are all they use the heart mirror DDs. So anybody that's familiar with the Hertz Sound heart mirror, these all use the same dynamic driver, and then they have a couple extra BAs and stuff that they tacked on. But yeah, pretty good, man. Good value too. If you go on Amazon, you're interested in picking up an IM. The 1-in-1 is bright. It's tuned bright, and it's got a neutral bass profile. But yeah, it's good IM, good value, and it's currently on sale for like 30 bucks. So, and what else do we got? So yeah, I got the H10 headphones we need to take apart. I also have the, what is it, the new Truth Ear IM on its way. It should be here in a little while, and I think I got some other stuff on the way. But anyway, this is what we got for now. Quite a haul. Need to do a lot of impressions, a lot of listening, and once we're finished with that, then we'll start taking more stuff apart. And yeah, so anyway, guys, oh yeah, I got a couple other IMs. So I got the Camper Deep Blue. We'll take that apart. I have the, what is it, the CXS is not coming back, but I have the HM20. We'll take that apart. I have the, what is it, the PR1 Pro coming back, but I do not want to take that apart. And I got a couple other IMs that are supposedly coming. There is, courtesy of my buddy, he's going to send a, what is it? It's a OnePlus 4. I think it's like XINHS, or it might be GS Audio, but it's a OnePlus 4. And then we have something else. I totally forgot what it was, but yeah. So there's a couple other IMs that he's sending for teardown, and we can take a look at those. But anyway, hope you guys have a great night. Sorry for this super long-winded video, but I can't finish this right now. It's a lot of work, and I don't have the time, and I got to go to work in a little while. So, but I just thought I'd share this with you real quick, get something out there so you have something to watch. But yeah. So the next video, no more unboxings. Next video, we'll listen to stuff and we'll take shit apart. Pretty much this, but yeah, and then we'll get to this stuff too. We'll just kind of get that stuff out of the way there. Anyway, take care, guys. Have a good night. I'll catch you later. Peace.